Going to be, again, a best of one as it is semis. Going to be on Oregon, the deciding map for our grand finale game tomorrow at 6 p.m. Tune in if you're interested. If not, well, do something else. Going on to team predictions, it seems from the vast majority of people in the inner circle of predictions, ooh, that's a big band wave, most people would say that the Make-A-Wish kids are truly and utterly fucked. We'll have to see how accurate that is, but that is the predictions that are on the table right now. On the opposing team, on Who Is This Kid, roster that looks a little bit more promising. Obviously, Lemon, Sturb, and Luid being pretty frequent in the server, having been, I think some of them being in the previous tournament, I can't quite remember. And Tachenka's God being Peace, also a classic member. On the opposing team, Zentek, Manev, and Fuzzy, and Donatello and Japanese Dog Eater, making up a cohesive unit of people that I would say are equally skilled. That's the best word to describe them. They're all quite equally skilled. Hopefully going to be equal energy and motivation for both teams. We can have a good, energized, hard-working game here. We'll have to see. Going into round number 1, it is going to be the Who Is This Kid roster. I think I'm just going to call them the kids. The kids roster going to dorms for their first sight. Probably pretty predictable there. I think most people would choose dorms over laundry these days. Bringing a pretty cohesive lineup of, or actually, sorry, Make-A-Wish kids on defense, my bad. Bringing a decently cohesive lineup here to prepare to defend their bomb site. Equally cohesive on the attack here, with I'd actually say, I mean, the Hibana being somewhat excessive unless they were planning on getting open big tower walls. Mostly in no need of a hard breach for a dorm stake. Good operators being kicked across the board here for a top floor take. Going into round number 1, I think, as I mentioned before, there is quite a lot of predictions about what's going to be happening here in this match. I think a lot of people know who they're voting for and aren't really going to be deferring from that. But if it were, I'm not actually going to say who, actually, or again, I've already said it, but I'm not going to keep talking about it. But if it were to be a victory for you-know-who, I think that would probably be the most entertaining thing I've ever seen. Seems like a decent site setup here coming from Make-A-Wish kids, able to getting all that utility down. They're doing the basics, I'd say, looking decently cohesive, somewhat efficient in their setup. Not quite sure about the alibi there, but besides that, everything looking decently efficient from them. Taking a look at the attack side, going to be a street, specifically coming from the Who Is This Kid roster. Mostly spawning street, looking to possibly get something going here on B windows. Maybe a master take. Hard to say this early in the round. We got one solo pusher of the Hibana here, able to get the opening pick onto the Valkyrie. Coming up Freezer Stairs, able to just rush right up and get a lot of site control real quick. Getting a second pick onto the Ela. It's seemingly, was about to be a slaughter, but Jaeger finally shutting down the push from the Hibana. Oh, IQ is just coming in, or was about to. A lot of ground coming in from this IQ here. Amaru just going into the site. A lot of ground being taken. Another pick coming onto the Jaeger there. Refrag coming from the Alibi, but still a man disadvantage for the defense here. No longer, though, as Zentek on the Alibi, able to get not one but two picks to even out for his team. Now left in a 1v2 scenario, able to even it out to a 1v1. Very winnable for Zentek here in the clutch situation with his opponent being zapped out. Oh, very close, but unsuccessful from the defense. Zentech, a valiant effort coming in with the 3K, but unfortunately falling to Lewid on the Zofia. Round number 1 going to the attackers. I'd say that was actually quite a bit closer than most people would have predicted. Going quite back and forth. I think mostly contributed to Zentech there in the last few seconds, able to get pick after pick, and finally narrowing it down to a 1v1, almost clutching out, but unfortunately the tracking just wasn't on when the Zofia came around the corner. I think had the Habana been shut down a bit sooner, that actually could have been a victory for Make-A-Wish kids. Either way, going into round 2, seems like kids sticking to their plan, going back to dorms, not really planning on budging here, possibly just trying a few things a little bit differently on their hold here, possibly seeing through the thin-veiled plan of their opponents and assuming that they can do better when the time comes. Not too much in the way of switch up here, though. Seemingly pretty much the exact same lineup for both teams. Bringing the same things, and why not? Being such a close round, there was nothing specifically wrong with the roster moves that were done. I'd say mainly it was pretty much just execution, timing, and that's about it. So not much in the way of team composition that can really be changed there to change the outcome of the match. Seems like the same things coming out from Make-A-Wish kids, not really planning on switching up. I think they see, as I mentioned before, if they're able to contain those early picks that happened from the Habana, it might have been a very different story on where that round went. Seemingly, Manev on the Vigil looking to play far downstairs and possibly deny this Habana, or maybe just drone hunting, who knows. But looking to stop that early push that came in from the attackers when they were able to clear out below so effectively. Majority of the attackers spawning construction, looking to possibly go for a big tower take here. Hard to say. Some of the attackers spawning over on the other side. Manev falling very quickly. Not quite sure how he was able to get himself killed so efficiently. I mean, oh no. Trying the punch hole was definitely not the play there from Manev, being very exposed to the Jackal as he was entering in blue. The first pick going again to the attackers as the Vigil falls very early in the round. A little bit of health coming back here for the attack, or onto the attack from the defense, as the Doc playing over by Attic, now the Alibi, able to get a few shots off and weaken out the attack. A swing out from Kids on the Doc is able to pick off the Jackal, bringing the score back to even. Doc now fully aware of the main push coming from the attack here, holding down the Habana where it's needed. A push coming in, and a second pick coming from Donatello. Possibly not the fragger you expected, but the fragger you wanted. Not going to be staying that long, though, as kills on kills coming, eventually leading up to a even scoreline, 2-2, and then 1-2. For some reason, the attackers actually down a man in a 1v2 situation for Lemon on the Maverick here. Going to have to clutch up to get the round for his team. Definitely not the scenario that I think most viewers would have expected. And that's going to be it. A Nitro from the Master Wall on the opposing side, able to easily take out the remaining Maverick. And it's going to be 1-1 scoreline between Make-A-Wish Kids and Who Is This Kid? I think some people might even be surprised that one round going in the way of Make-A-Wish Kids. Some people very heavily stacked against it. Seeing them even at this point is somewhat confusing, but also hopeful and optimistic for the possibility of making a go of this game. It would be quite disappointing if there wasn't even some give from the opposing team. I'd really like to see it a little bit more back and forth, because I think nobody really wants to watch a lopsided game. Moving into round number 3, similar roster moves, but the Caveira coming out from Manev here on the defense, going to be a bit of a switch up here. hopefully the switch of the hard roamer might make a difference in how effectively they can hold down offsite. After all, the Vigil falling down so quickly in the previous round was definitely not ideal for the defense. Moving down to Laundry now, defense strategy is going to change just a little bit as they have to reassess how they'd like to go about their plays. But either way, still going to be much of the same from what we've been seeing before. Operators quite similar, and the attack also seeming quite similar in their roster moves. Going to be interesting to see how Who Is This Kid is able to bounce back from their loss last round when it probably should have been a victory. I think mainly we can attribute the victory last round to Donatello getting 2 or 3 picks on the dock, able to take out several of the attic pushers and sway the round in the favor of the defense once again. Attack seemingly focusing quite frequently on construction here and on main lobby, trying to split their attack a little bit, obviously the correct choice. Droning out laundry stairs and looking to get a early push down before they give too much time to the defense. Early laundry push here coming from Buck as he's able to open up the hatch and move down the staircase. Definitely in a position where he could be getting some early picks, and he will. Valkyrie falling down early, and possibly the Bandit too, yes. Oh, just a rain of kills coming in here as Luid on the Ace is able to get 1-2. Unfortunately, Zentek on the Alibi able to get 1 refrag. Unfortunate for the attack, but still looking pretty solid for the attack here now in a 3v1 situation against Zentek. All left up to the Alibi. Able to get 1 pick onto, or not. Close to 1 pick onto the Zofia, but no cigar just yet. Finally getting the pick, staying in the same position though is going to be quite clearly outmatched and out-health by his opponents. Hoping for them to just get a peek on and give him an easy kill. Unfortunately, not going to be the case. He goes for the swing, and with the lack of health, another round going towards Who Are These Kids? Well, these kids would be the ones who are winning. That would be the case. Looking a bit more like what I think most people would expect. Although I'd say these rounds are actually quite close, coming down to the last 2 or 3, and sometimes even 1 player. I think a lot of people would have expected it to be a lot more definitive for the attack here. Although I think it is quite well known, Oregon being a very defender map as of right now in the current meta, it is still something to be said that the attackers are able to get 2 out of 3 rounds. Still quite a handsome achievement. Going into round number 4, I think what I'd like to see is a bit more roam game from the defenders here. Make-A-Wish kids not really giving it their all here to make aggressive plays in the early round, get picks on, making it very easy for the attack to just push up and get picks in their way. You really want to be taking the fight to the enemy on Oregon and really getting in their face here, and I'm just not seeing a lot of that. If I were to give suggestions to Make-A-Wish kids here, I'd say probably just got to get a little bit more aggro in the way that they're trying to approach the match here. Well, I'm just not seeing enough aggression, enough forefront. Just ideally, the defense here is able to just get up in Who Are These Kids' face, get some early picks, and then hold it out for the last half of the round. That is how I see them getting rounds on the board, if it's a possibility at all. Zentek again going to be on the Alibi, being the hard carry for his team. Actually, quite impressive if we take a look at the scoreboard. Zentek fragging more than anybody else in this game, including Serb, the top frag for the opposing team. Going 7-2 in the first 3 rounds. Very impressive scoreline. Picking up pretty much all the kills for his his team. Actually getting more kills than all of his other players combined. The attack seemingly focusing on Garage here, looking to get early top floor control. Unfortunately, defense not taking heed of my advice. although obviously they were unaware that I was giving it to them in the first place. Staying close on site and not really giving anything in the way of off-site progression. Pretty lengthy blue hold coming here, but what I'm not really seeing is a laundry hold, which is where the attack is coming from almost completely from this Jackal here, getting those scans in and allowing his teammates to come in and get a lot of upstairs ground, not even really worrying about roamers at this point. Jackal almost getting a wallbang kill onto the defending Doc, but unfortunately the head not getting in, and the kills will not be coming. Fuzzy on the Doc, just waiting for a easy pick here to come in from the attackers, hoping to take out someone just peeking out of their way. The first pick coming from Luid as he's able to peek over the deployable shield and get one pick onto the Ela of the defense. A refrag coming from the Doc, but it's going to be a instant refrag for the Hibana. Bandit trying to get another pick in the way of the defense and is able to do so as he gets the down onto the Hibana, putting us in a possible 3v3 if he's able to confirm this kill. Majority of the attack now even more stuck on the backside. A pick again going for the defense as the sledge of Luid falls for the attack, and it's all left up to the two remaining alive players of the attack. Hibana now finally getting finished off. Twitch able to thread the needle and get the pick off. Now down to a 2v2. Very close round for both teams here, getting picks either way back to back. A lot of ground though being taken here by the Twitch in the last few seconds. Zentech holding close, but it's going to be Manev to get the definitive pick here, putting us in a 2v1, unfortunately not able to hold on to the lead as he is picked off very quickly. Now down to just Alibi and Zofia in a 1v1 to decide whether or not this goes even for Make-A-Wish Kids, or if Who Is This takes the lead. Pillar, a very strong position for Zofia to be holding down right now. A lot of sound cues coming in for Zofia. She should know where his enemy is, but unfortunately, not the case. Shots just not landing. Zentech on the Alibi, not able to close the round out. He's going to fall to the hands of the Zofia. It's going to be round number 4 going to Who Is This Kid. 3-1 lead on attack. Really not looking very strong for Make-A-Wish Kids. But you never know. Once things switch around, who knows? Things could change. Interesting to see the progression of operators being picked by each team. That is just a little bit toxic. Even being 3 rounds in compared to their opponent's 1. These kids still choosing to bring somewhat toxic operators. The Blitz, the Jackal, the Doki, the Lion. I would not say that that is the most respectful lineup I could have seen. But it is the game, and it is what it is. Not to make things worse, but the Zofia holding on, being, I'd say, the anchor of the team right now for the attacking side, the actual reasonable pick. Holding out and actually being a decent fragger right now at 5-2, definitely getting the picks for his team that are needed to get these rounds on the board. For the defense here, still a, I'd say, also reasonable lineup. Say the only person with slightly less utility from the defense being Zentech on the Alibi. But considering the frags he's been bringing in for his team, I'd say it's justified him playing on the Alibi. Round number 5, going to be going to kids' dorms here. Back again, the one site that they were actually able to lock down a defense win for Make-A-Wish Kids. Possibly could happen again, who knows. But it doesn't seem like it with the lineup that's coming right now. I don't see a way that Make-A-Wish Kids are going to be able to surmount the level of utility that's being brought right now by the attack here. Who Is These Kids bringing a lot of operators that are going to be really difficult to deal with, considering the operators that are on the table right now. All the reinforcements going down. Going to be removing any possibility of early failure from the defense. Going to have to go up to gunpowder, as most people can see. No hard breach being brought on the attackers. Going to be all down to angles and gunfights already predisposed by the defense team. a hold here coming from Fuzzy inside a garage with the dog. Not sure if this is the smartest play he could have made, but either way, holding down, looking to get some early picks onto the attackers, having noticed that they've been going the same place every single time through that garage wall. Unfortunate he gets it droned out, but still playing in the general area, ready for that push in. Little bit of main window presence here coming from the attackers here, able to get outside, actually seeming to have fallen off as they noticed the Pulse playing there. Mostly coming down in, I assume, to be a freezer push here from the Lion and the Jackal, looking to push up and take all that bottom ground early. Doc falling to the Dokkaebi of Luid as the cameras are taken. 5v4 man advantage no longer as Sturb falls down to Manev. An unfortunate trade there. A Vigil for a Lion. Still alive though. Vigil holding on, ready for the two people, playing outside a big window, holding on, looking to get picks, and he will. Manev getting another pick, giving the man advantage to Make-A-Wish Kids in the last minute and a half of the round. Jackal looking to get a pick. It's going to be even more lopsided. Manev getting another pick out onto main window, bringing us into a 2v4 for Make-A-Wish Kids. They might actually have a hand in this side, and it gets even worse for Who Are These Kids as another member of the defense, or attack, sorry, Lemon, falling down, leaving Luid in a 1v4 situation. Luid giving it his best on Zofia, looking to make a play of this, able to get a very nice wallbang, and a second, oh, this is very winnable for Luid, getting 2 picks and still having decent health, Wisp Diffuser, and decent time on the board. This is absolutely a doable round. 2 remaining defenders being Japanese on Valkyrie and Zentek on the Alibi, 1 on site, 1 in classroom. It's going to be interesting to see if he's able to notice, and he will get the pick onto the Valkyrie down in classroom. An absolutely winnable situation for the Zofia, still with plenty of time on the board, with a drone and plenty of health to play with. Droning out most of the site, noticing he has a lot of ground to take here. The Alibi just playing in that back corner there. With this information on the board, Luid has gone from a impossible clutch to a very winnable situation. Noticing the Alibi's position, and he's going to get it. Oh, that is just embarrassing. Make-A-Wish Kids absolutely flopping a in-the-hands round by going for the kill like the little greedy people that they are. An easily won round, now falling to the hands of Who Are These Kids. Now 4-1 on attack. Definitely not looking good for Make-A-Wish Kids right now. Unless they're able to get this one round here and make a monstrous comeback on attack, I see very little faith in them able to actually get some sort of run going on right now. Going into round number 6, hopefully going to see a little bit of the same last round. After all, everything in that round having been done correctly by Make-A-Wish Kids except for their flopped clutch situation. Hopefully we're going to see a little bit more of the starting and a little bit less of the finishing in this final defense round, as they're able to hopefully pull out a round if they want to have any chance of bringing this back in any fashion. Defense going back to dorms is definitely the smart decision. After all, having won one round and almost won several here, it would definitely be the correct pick for these guys to go back to their strongest site, having Laundry been a slaughter the 2 rounds that they decided to give it a try. Oh, that is some interesting recoil control from Manev there, unable to pick off the drone. Let's just make fun of Manev here for a little bit as he goes about trying to take drones out and being unsuccessful in the highest degree. Finally getting the drone kill. I can't say I'm impressed with his skill in drone shooting, but at least he got it in the end. Moving into the action phase, most of the attack deciding to go with a construction spawn, possibly going for a garage take like usual. Luid able to pick off the spawn peeker of Fuzzy, not quite sure what he was thinking there, But what's done is done. Doc falling in the first 20 seconds, leaving his team in a 4-person scenario. Jekyll looking to clean out the Vigil here as he sees the feet prints inside of Supply. Vigil now trapped down in a corner, really with nothing to do now. Trying to make a rotate out with his impact grenades, but it's going to be fruitless as he is picked down by Lemon. Seems like buttering on drones is not the only thing that Manev is good at. Also, dying far away from sight without contributing to his team. Unfortunate, as already being a man down, it would have made sense to rotate back and help out the remaining players on site. Zentek still playing over here, able to get a nice pick over onto Peace in Big Tower through the window, really carrying for his team right now, going 8-4, absolutely being the powerhouse that's holding his team together in any aspect. And another shot coming from Zentek as he's able to take out a second one from the same angle. Very nicely done. Unfortunately, his teammates do not share the same skill level or enthusiasm in gunfights, and his teammate falls on the Valkyrie, leaving us in a 2v3, now 2v2, as Donatello able to get a pick for his team, holding in the backside here in the 2v2. Sturb about to be opening up Master Wall here, getting a nice angle on into sight and possibly able to jump in and get the plant down. But Diffuser left in Big Tower is going to be up to IQ to retrieve that and get this round back on the road. Jackal still working away at that wall. Plenty of time left for the attack to make their play here. And a Attic rotate that will absolutely be detrimental to Zentek here if he's not able to keep control of it and keep that angle under wraps. Attackers having taken sight now, Jackal all the way pushed up. It's going to be up to Donatello to get this pick to help Zentek on the side. Unfortunately, Zentek going to be falling here, and the picks just cascading in. Serb able to get another onto Donatello. It's going to be a 5-1 split for the attackers here of... Who are these kids? Well, the kids that they are the winning ones. As, out of the two groups of kids, one of them has 1 round and the other has 5. Things not looking good for our friends on the orange side here. Possibly going to be seeing some sort of change on attack here. Maybe a comeback from the Make-A-Wish kids if they're able to formulate and get a good strategy going. But from what we've seen so far, I highly doubt their team coordination is up to the task, especially with a few seemingly dead weights on their team. Some of their players like Fuzzy, Manev, really usually actually getting picked off very early in the round, making some questionable decisions on their roams and spawn peaks, and unfortunately kind of dragging their team down here and losing easy opportunities. Hopefully what we'll see from these two teams, we're going to hopefully see a lot more team coordination from Make-A-Wish kids. If they're hoping to get a few rounds on the board, we're going to have to see a lot more working together. They do have the Heartbreaks that they're going to need to get the hatches open, get those blue walls open. Maybe not enough. I would have liked to see a Thermite or an Ace, but one way or another, it is what it is. Interesting to see that who are these kids going to be going for the laundry round first. Most teams would have chosen to go with dorms first, but trying to obviously keep things a little bit switched up, try to go against the grain. Who are these kids? Picking the unfavorable site of the two, going downstairs, and probably getting the hard part out of the way, I would say. Trying to just do the most strategic plan possible so that they can get the most amount of rounds as quickly as they can. Going to be a possible spawn peek here from Luid on the Valkyrie. Maybe just a cam being thrown out. Hard to say, but can't say the same here for Sturb, as possibly going for some of those early aggressive rounds that I was telling or expecting Make-A-Wish kids to try their hand at. Definitely going to be the correct play to do here on defense if you want to get easy rounds, easy picks. Sturb going to be going for a run out here out onto main lobby, not knowing that people are in perfect position for the run out. Really should be going for that immediately, but without the information that we have here on the bird's eye view, going to have to be just going off of what he knows in the moment, which is not that much. Going for the run out, able to get the pick onto Buck. Very nice shot from Sturb, taking out the top frag. of the attack. Probably going to get traded out here, and Dokkaebi getting the pick back. But still, the damage is done, and the main fragger of the attack, Centec, getting taken down before his prime. Fuzzy on the Jackal, looking to take backstairs quickly here. Another frag coming in from Luid as he's able to take out Donatello on the Maverick from Laundry Stairs here. And a second pick coming out from the defense as the Fuzzy of Jackal falls only 1 minute into the round. Not looking great for the attackers here. Manev getting pre-fired on here on the Dokkaebi from the Valkyrie, playing in Lobry here. Hoping to get a few picks, knowing the location of both of his opponents. It's going to be a throw-up who wins it, but decided now Luid on the Jaeger, getting that pick onto one outside of main lobby. It's a crapshoot whether or not they know the position of the remaining attacker, but either way, Manev about to get a confrontation here with the Jaeger. Unfortunately, unable to get the pick with the SMG-12. Not the best with this recoil, in my opinion. I'm not quite sure why he keeps going for it. Really not the most proficient with these guns, but either way, making the best out of it, hoping to get some picks onto the rushing defenders. Even against a Deagle with an automatic gun, not able to get that pick. I would definitely suggest to Manev he gives a break to the Korean operators, but one way or another, that is going to be round number 6 in the bag of who are these kids. Well, they are the kids with 6 rounds. And now on match point, looking to clean things up without making too much of it. Obviously, severely outmatched for Make-A-Wish kids, not able to get any ground whatsoever on any of the recent rounds. Well, earlier in the game, seeing a bit closer to the edge, some rounds even coming close to a victory, as well as the one that actually did. It's unfortunate that the game isn't more like a 3-3 right now, or a 4-2, but it is what it is, and a few easy rounds being thrown because of a lack of care. Unfortunately, coming back to bite Make-A-Wish kids in the back as the rounds now stacking up. Coming down to match point, it's going to be all or nothing in their final round. If they can keep it together, or if it's going to fall apart, and they'll have to be eliminated from their first game. Obviously, who are these kids looking to close out the game swiftly and without compromise, not planning on giving any budge to their defense. Seemingly not amused with any of the gimmicks going on right now, just hoping to get their spot and get out of here, preparing for their match tomorrow, hopefully. Obviously, can't call anything just yet, but the way things are looking, not too great for Make-A-Wish kids. If they want to have a chance at winning right now, they're going to have to make big changes to how they've been playing the entire game. A lot more team coordination, a lot more callouts, a lot more moving as a group. The defense here of who are these kids seeming very comprehensive. Lot of reinforcements being in the right spots. All the utility being put down. There's no slacking going on right now as the defense prepares for hopefully their final round and possibly a Spompy coming in here from Peace. Unknown to him, he was droned out in his garage push, so I would assume the attackers being ready for his run out here, but it's hard to say. Fortunately, shots being missed from him. The Warden there also to go for a spawn peek, hoping to get this pistol tap. Almost getting it here, going for the shot, unfortunately missing up to this point. Looks like it's going to be a dud from them, and the only problem being Japanese on Zofia, taking a little bit of damage in the run-up to the house. Looks like a hard garage stack here from the attack as they look to push in to the map from the entry point of the spawn peak. Jackal going in first on Manev here, looking to get a pick onto the far playing Ella. 3 playing in garage. They're able to finally get that pick onto the hallway player, but unfortunately refrags coming in from Sturb as he's able to swing on not 1 but 2. Looking for a third here. Is he going to get it? No. Hibana with the bearing 9 in close range, having a little bit better crosshair placement, but just back and forth rapid refrags. Luid on the Mozzie, able to pick off another attacker, leaving us in a 3v2. Not the greatest situation I've ever seen on match point, but what can you do? Japanese on the Zofia, looking to get some master control here, hoping to clear out the upper top floor and then push into sight. Unfortunately, Mozzie Drone taking out the final bit of informational gadgetry that the attackers might have, leaving it all up to gun skill from this point on. Kapkan in a good position to deny the attackers from pushing in. No Nitrocell in hand, impacts wasted earlier in the round, but the pistol seems to be all he's going to be needing to take out the remaining attackers. One is going to be taken down in the down but not out state. Zofia looking to possibly get a pickup if there are no attackers or defenders rushing him, which they happen to be. Zofia going for a swing, hip fires all out, and that is going to be it. Last game of today being finished off in a 7-1 decisive victory. Luid absolutely carrying for his team, but not getting the final kill cam. 7-1 victory for Who Are These Kids as they take their first victory and only one until their grand finale tomorrow in the best of 3.